I'm Yoni Joe, and I'm going to talk to you about helping your teen with self-harm. As we know, a lot of young people in the care system can use self-harm as a way of managing their emotions, and this is some really practical strategies to help. It's based on presentation from We Are With You, a service for young people with 25 years experience providing services to children. And We Are With You works in different parts of the country with young people. And it comes from a holistic approach. It's evidence-based, and they promote early intervention in managing self-harm. They evaluate their work, and some of the measures that they use are goal-based outcomes, Warwick, Edinburgh mental health well-being, and tracking self-harm thoughts and actions during the last 28 days, which is maybe something that would be useful for adopters. And experience of service questions and evaluating how the young people find the service. Self-harm refers to any act of self-poisoning or self-injury carried out by a person irrespective of what motivation they have to do so. And self-harming comes in a variety of different actions. So what I'm going to talk to you about is what is self-harm, why do young people do it, and helpful strategies. So what is self-harm? One young person said of the young men's service, "I was so alone, lost and desperate. I thought no one cared about me until my youth worker encouraged me to open up. I remember that day so vividly. It was the first day of the rest of my life." Self-harm can include a variety of different unhelpful coping strategies, including cutting, biting, overeating, burning, risk-taking, exercise excessively, pulling hair, banging, hitting themselves, getting into fights, isolation, picking, scratching, or substance abuse. But actually, I only realised sort of when preparing for this that my father self-harmed. He would quite often scratch his fingers and his cuticles, and it was something I'd never really thought about in terms of self-harm, but I think it's one of many strategies that are strategies that young people and adults develop to self-soothe. So signs that your child is self-harming: physical injury. You may observe on more than one occasion that they've hurt themselves. Any cuts may appear to be too neat or in places that are less likely to be accidental. Or perhaps the explanation is not consistent with what the injury looks like. Other warning signs would include secrecy or disappearing at times of high emotion, baggy clothes, covering arms and legs even in warm weather, increasing isolation or unwillingness to engage, perhaps avoid PE, shopping, sleepovers as a possibility of getting outed. Absence or lateness, general low mood or irritability, or negative self-talk, telling themselves they're worthless, hopeless, or aimless. So some of the things that you can encourage your young person to do are helpful strategies. Grounding techniques include breathing, aroma dough, mindfulness, calming apps, which you can find on their phone, journaling, holding a diary, art or self-care. And aroma dough is making dough which has a favoured smell, and using that at times when they're needing support to manage their emotions. Simple grounding technique when young people feel high or the real strong need to self-harm. If you encourage them to name 5 things that you can see, 4 things you can hear, 3 things you can touch, 2 things you can smell, 1 thing you can taste. Or encourage them to do square breathing, which is inhaling on 4 counts, holding for 4 counts, and exhaling for 4 counts, and then holding for 4 counts. And do that 3 or 4 times, and it helps regulate, engages the thinking part of the brain, and gives them some help in calming those feelings. Self-soothing boxes is also something you might want to talk to your teen about. And this, I think, applies even if young people don't self-harm, but get anxious or have difficulty regulating their emotions. So what should you include in a self-soothing box? Anything, ultimately, that the young person feels helpful and feels calms them. But some of the ideas that people have used is, for example, photos, cards, letters, sweets, soft toys, furry cushions, smooth stones, poppets, those fidget tools, incense, hand cream, aroma dough, poems, perfume, candles, face packs, stress balls, bath bombs, colouring books or glitter balls. And I'm sure you and your team can come up with lots of other ideas which would be really useful for them. And it has to be something that's going to be personally helpful for them. So work on it together. They might enjoy decorating their box and just creating something that's really special. Sources of support that you might find helpful, making a referral to CAMHS, Calm, the site is helpful. Other sites which are online is Distract, Stay Alive Suicide Prevention, Sane, My Life, and Calm. So I hope that you found that useful, and thank you for your time. And if you found this useful, I would really like to hear about what bits of it you've implemented, and enjoy creating your soothing box with your team. Take care.